Welcome to the 11.5 minutes of heaven we call the D1Baseball College World Series daily predictions. It is day 4. And again, the varsity squad remains intact. We got Stitch, Eric Sorenson. We've got Aaron Fitt wearing Carolina blue today. And the pride of the Republic of Texas, Kendall Rogers, with Martha in tow. Gentlemen, good morning. How we doing?
Living the dream.
Good, man.
Better than the average bear.
That's all. That is all well said. Before we get into our picks, boys, let's thank our sponsors. And again, we're going to reiterate for all fans in Omaha. First of all, if you've not gotten to Omaha, this is a bucket list item. Get here. The trip is fantastic. It never disappoints. And regarding our sponsors, we've got all the best brands in baseball under one roof at the Omaha Experience. You can get your hands on limited edition, never before seen products from Wilson, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Evo Shield. It's all located at the Omaha Baseball Village. So we really appreciate our friends at Wilson. They're sponsoring the postseason for us. And again, they are making it's a big presence here in the Big O. So, gentlemen, it's day 4. Which is amazing, really amazing that we're at day 4 already. This goes so quickly. And so we had some fireworks last night, boys. I mean, that was something now. So what we've got on the other side of the bracket, we've got NC State 2-0. Tomorrow being Wednesday, Stanford will play Vandy. That's a pretty spicy matchup right there. Two highly academic institutions who are also highly skilled in baseball. But let's go over today. So game 1 will be Texas versus Tennessee. Game 2, the winner's bracket game will be Virginia versus Hail State, Mississippi State. So let's do Texas versus Tennessee. Kendall, you are the representative from the Republic. So tell us about Texas versus Tennessee. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting game. I think when you look at these two teams, obviously, Tristan Stevens for Texas is one of those guys that's going to pound the strike zone. He doesn't have, elite stuff. We'll get up to 93, 94 this fastball. But the name of the game for him is command. He has excellent command of the zone. He throws a lot of strikes. That's a good thing most of the time. I don't think that's a good thing against a team like Tennessee. I think Tennessee the other day played very tight, and it kind of reminded me, guys, of the first game of the Southeastern Conference tournament. If you remember back, they got shut down in that first game. What happened? The next game, they run-ruled Mississippi State. Obviously, they're not going to run-rule Texas, but I think they're going to have a really good offensive performance today. And I think I'm taking Tennessee. I just don't see Tennessee having 2 games in a row where they don't hit the baseball. So I'm taking the Vols. I'm going to say 9-4. I think it's going to be a significant defeat.
I like it. Stitch, what are you thinking here?
I didn't know we were taking score predictions too. I'll predict 1-0. No, interesting showdown between these two, and kind of what I leaned on the other day talking with about Coach Vitello being here for the first time, and they kind of showed that they really just were really flat, and it was actually kind of cool. I was looking forward to seeing Tennessee play because I hadn't seen them play this year. To be honest with you, I had not seen them play. I was looking forward to seeing them play, and I couldn't be more underwhelmed. But yeah. With that said, I do like Stevens on the mound for Texas. I still think that Texas offense is going to show sometime. You probably could say that about both teams, actually, but I just have a gut feeling that Texas. I'm going to give Texas the edge in this one. A little bit better pitching, and I think their offense is going to wake up. And as for a score, I can't predict the score. I'm really bad at that, but I'll take. I'll just say it'll be UT wins. No, I'll go with Texas.
There you go.
That's a good call there, Stitch. Yes, Fitzy.
It's going to be a good day for the folks in Orange. I'm going to make that. That's a bold prediction, and I feel pretty good about.
That's right.
So I will say that today's win report
brought to you by
Christian Arrow. The wind is blowing to left field. I as far as I can tell, I think it's going to be an offensive day again. So I like Kendall's score prediction. I'm gonna kind of go with some gut calls here rather than trying to break it down, overanalyze this stuff. Here's my feeling. I kind of had a feeling the other day, Saturday. I didn't really love the vibe, in the post game around one of the two teams that lost. I thought the vibe around Stanford was great. I mean, even though they lost that game against NC State, they kind of felt still relaxed, and I don't know. It kind of felt like that was a team that was ready to bounce back. Whereas, the other team, I mean, I thought was that lost. Why am I drawing a blank on the team Stanford just played yesterday?
Arizona,
I thought was kind of crushed by the loss to Vanderbilt. I mean, they seemed very tense, very tight. I thought the same thing about Texas, after they lost like that game to Mississippi State. David Pierce, and the whole, there's something about him. It didn't feel, it felt like a crushing blow. Whereas, I didn't kind of get that feeling from Tennessee, surprisingly. I know that, they thought they were flat in the game, but post game, I don't know. I kind of felt like this is a team that's ready to get off the mat. Now, you can read too much into that stuff. I'm sure this is just sports writer nonsense. But that said, there's something to it. I mean, you got 2 days to bounce back from a loss. It really shouldn't be that big of a deal. But it's just a gut feeling for me. I'm going Tennessee. I think that I think the freshman Blade Tidwell shows on the big stage here. I think we've seen some of these young power arms have really risen to the occasion out here. Certainly Bednar rose to the occasion for Mississippi State, and today I think that Tidwell does the same.
Gosh, Fitzy, you legitimately just influenced me. I came in here dead set to pick Texas, and now I am wavering like a big dog. Holy heck. I will say this. My main point that I want to make is one of the coolest things in Omaha right now is that Tennessee fans are not wearing Liam Spence jerseys or Sean Hunley jerseys. They are wearing Tony Vitello jerseys. So there's that. Yeah. So I am down for that. And yes, number 22 in your program. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I like Texas has Stevens is a strike thrower, at least mostly has been a strike thrower. Pete Hansen coming out of the bullpen seems like an option for them. And Kendall, I'm just confirming, you said that Tennessee did lose game 1 in Hoover before coming back through there?
Yeah, they lost to Alabama. If you remember, they had that controversial call at second base, and they bounced back and run ruled Mississippi State. And by the way, where's the Tony Vitello jersey? I'm going to get one for Aaron.
Yeah, I don't know where you might have to rip it off somebody's back. I've not seen it in stores. So
I'm sure you can find a Peyton Manning jersey for me, Kendall. That'll go over well.
I think I saw Chris Burke downstairs in a Tony Vitello jersey.
Yeah.
Berkey's got 7 Peyton Manning jerseys in his room. Boys, give me the Vols. Give me the Vols. Fitzy has sold me.
Look at Eric, the only one taking up for the Republic over here. How about that?
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever done this before, but hook 'em.
There you go.
Lone wolf.
What you're trying to do is
one man wolf pack over there. Gentlemen, all right, game 2, we got Virginia at Hail State. I will abstain because of my ACC duties. I did not do a very good job abstaining yesterday. But let's go, Virginia, Griff McGrary, Hail State, Christian McLeod. Fitzy, you want to kick us off on this one?
Here's what I'm saying. If you're abstaining, that means you're picking State, because if you're picking the ACC team, you're going full homer. I mean, that's what you did yesterday with the Wolfpack. So we can read into that how we like.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Thank you for that.
Yeah, listen, this is an interesting game because, I mean, Griff McGarry was really good last week.
Mm-hmm.
It's a track record of about the last 10 innings where you can say, all right, like maybe he's figured it out. I don't trust him still. But the stuff is electric, and tip your cap to the way he battled last week. I don't trust the strike throwing. I mean, come on, we've got 3 years of history here. He needs to continue to prove it to me. And if he does, I will absolutely, salute the man, because he's worked hard. He's really, really, really fought to try to figure out the command piece, but it makes me nervous. So, now I imagine they'll have a short leash with him. And if he struggles with the zone, they'll have that bullpen ready, and then they'll go to it. But, I don't love the way Christian McLeod's pitched lately either. So I'm not really bullish on either of these starting pitchers. So I was all set to take Hail State, but, with Landon Sims maybe not being available a ton here, if Mississippi State has to get into the bullpen earlier, if either of these teams have to go into the bullpen earlier, I think Virginia has the better bullpen set up here now, because Sims is a little bit limited. So even though Matt Wyatt is also limited, I just think Virginia has more guys there. So I just love the way Virginia fits in this ballpark. I love what I've seen from their offense, and certainly their defense as well. They have a better defense than Mississippi State. I'm going to take Virginia. I just figured that. I talked myself through that as we went. I didn't know who.
It was a very long-winded prediction there.
Yeah, I liked it. It was therapy, is what it was. I enjoyed that very much. Very good. Stitch, what are you thinking here?
Well, Virginia was a team that another team that I was looking forward to seeing getting up here, and I saw them against Dallas Baptist, which that was a hell of a series between those two and the Supers. But I was just first of all, I couldn't have been more impressed with Andrew Abbott. That was just a joy to watch. He was badass. But I really like Virginia's offense too. I thought, their numbers weren't great coming in. It's kind of like, a lot of these teams have that same way. Like Stanford is the same way. They didn't have really great numbers necessarily, but they just started swinging hot bats. And the other thing that Virginia has going for it is they have a Creighton alum that's coaching them. So I really love Virginia, but you know what? I'm tired of picking against Mississippi State, for crying out loud. I pick against them all the time, and they always win, so I'm tired of it. I'm picking Mississippi State.
Yeah.
I love that rationale. Gosh,
By the
we've
way,
really had some good therapy here.
Yet, but I'm taking Drover donations. So
thank you.
There.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, Woody Page.
Pass the hat. Pass the hat for Stitch. Right. KR, what do you got here?
I think when you look at this matchup, it's hard and really hard to go against Virginia. I think they're a lot like NC State. They're playing at an extremely high level so far here in the College World Series. But I do go Mississippi State. I think when you look back at Mississippi State's offense in the first game against Texas, the top 4 hitters in the lineup combined for 4 hits. The guy that went 0 for 4 in that lineup, Tanner Allen. I am not betting on Tanner Allen having 2 straight bad games offensively. I think Tanner Allen gets back in business today. And I think Christian McLeod gives them 5. And if he can give them 5, that allows you to kind of turn things over to Houston Harding out of the bullpen for 2 or 3. And maybe you're in a situation where you only have to use Landon Sims in 1 inning. So they've got options with Preston Johnson and a few other guys. So I like Mississippi State, but I think this is going to be an outstanding game. I think a lot like last night. I think it's going to be relatively low scoring, and I like Mississippi State in a very close game.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. This game is fascinating because of the starting pitching, if nothing else. You think about Griff McGarry, just from a data point standpoint, Virginia lost Griff McGarry's first 7 starts. He didn't lose those starts. The team, every time he got the ball, they lost 7 consecutive starts. And now they've won his last 2, right? So it's like we got a new streak. Christian McLeod, the first month and a half of the season, he was a legit Friday guy. So I got this data point from ESPN Stats and Info. Christian McLeod's ERA this season, first 8 starts, was 3.05. Christian McLeod's ERA, the last 5 starts, 6.93. So that's not encouraging. And now, Jackson Fristow has really hit the freshman wall. So, you guys mentioned Houston Harding. He's been used as a starter, but he probably has to be ready to get in there for McLeod. McLeod's got that big breaking ball, which can be tough to land for a strike. So, I am going to abstain. But this is all of the things you guys said. Griff McGarry's strike throwing is really hard to trust. I really just don't know what to think about Christian McLeod right now. Hey, and you mentioned Fitzy Landon Sims. Gosh, he's been more human down the stretch. Now he was not human at all, so that's really kind of a. He's still the best closer, but what Texas did to him in the 9th the other day was a little spooky.
But he's still got like 6 guys and 2 1/3 or whatever. I don't know. I will say this. I think for me, these were the 2 best bullpens in the field coming into this thing, and 2 of the very best bullpens in the country. And I expect this is going to be a battle of the bullpens, and I think that's fitting in this winner's bracket matchup. But and I guess both these guys have spent one of their big guns here earlier. I don't know that Wyatt will be pitching at all today. I'm not sure how he bounces back, but I do like some of the other guys back there, whether it's Kyle Witten, whether it's even Nate Savino, and if they need it in like a bridge role, I could see that working. They I don't know what they'll get out of Stephen Schock if he's even going to pitch out here. I don't know that he's completely ready to go, but they've got other guys, and I just think it favors them a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm going to be really bummed out if we don't. If we don't get to see Schock at least once this College World Series, I'm going to be kind of bummed out. I was really looking forward to seeing him pitch.
He is fun. Here's the final point I got for you guys. I think Virginia played their best game of the year the other day. I think that's legitimately the best game they've played this year, and I don't know what to make of that. But it's something. They played a spectacular game against Tennessee. That was really eye popping for me. So, gentlemen, let's go get ourselves fed. Let's get fueled up. Let's have a great day of baseball. Last day of the first set of doubleheaders. Again, we want to thank our friends at Wilson for all of their support in our postseason run here. And everybody have let's enjoy Game 4, Day 4, College World Series.